Most of us are familiar with the Victorinox Swiss Army Knife brand. There is, however, another Swiss Army knife, Swiza. The D03 model might be compared to the familiar Victorinox Spartan. The D03 also shares some similarities with the rugged Victorinox Alox Pioneer and the Alox Electrician. The Swiza bears little resemblance to either Victorinox. The Swiza body is slightly arched and fits nicely in the hand. The synthetic scales have a slight texture and give to them. This improves the overall grip, especially with wet or cold hands. The nail nicks are quite large and pass completely through the tools. The back edges of all the tools are nicely aligned, again improving the grip. By the numbers, these are 2-layer knives. The Spartan has 8 distinct tools. It weighs about 60 grams and is 91 millimeters long by 13.8 millimeters wide, making it the shortest and lightest. The Alox Electrician and Pioneer have 4 tools. The Electrician weighs 69 grams and measures 93 millimeters by 11.5 millimeters, making the Alox the narrowest in width. The D03 has 6 tools. It weighs 82 grams and measures 95 by 15.75 millimeters, making it the largest and heaviest. Spartan has the smallest blade, with a 60 millimeter cutting length, 12 millimeter width, base thickness of 2 millimeters, and mid-length thickness of 1.7 millimeters. The D03 has a length of 70 millimeters, 15 millimeter width, and thicknesses of 2.4 1.7 millimeters. The Alox has a length of 63 millimeters, 13.85 millimeter width, and thicknesses of 2.8 and 2 millimeters. Victorinox indicates the blade has a Rockwell unit of hardness of 56 on the C scale, and Swiza indicates an HRC of 57. The Swiza main blade locks when extended. The blade is released by firmly pressing the indented emblem on the scale. Because of the locking mechanism, there's very little snapback when returning the blade to the closed position. No gotchas here. Nicely done. Some of us use sacks in adverse condition. Our hands might be cold, wet, or even gloved. Let's try opening the main blade with a gloved hand. The D03 was immediately opened. Though not as easy, I was able to open the Alox after trying for about 18 seconds, and surprisingly the Spartan in under a minute. The Spartan, Alox, and D03 have somewhat similar combined screwdrivers, cap openers, and wire notch tools. All click into position at midpoint and full extension. The knives also have similar can openers with small screwdriver tips. These tips are slightly rounded at the edges, making them useful for some Phillips. The Alox Electrician does not have this tool. Like the Spartan, it has a small blade instead. There are differences in design in the awl reamers. The Spartan has a back-mounted awl with thread hole. The D03 and Alox models have very sharp single bevel awls with a much larger anchor area and are in line with the main tools. These two differ in that the Alox is longer and the D03 is wider and has a thread hole. Using the awl reamers in dry, softwood illustrates their capability. The D03 creates a large, quickly tapering hole. The Alox Electrician produces a narrow hole, reminding me of a gimlet drill. The Spartan is more unwieldy, yet can create a narrow hole in this softwood. The D03 and Spartan have corkscrews, though the D03 is larger in diameter and longer. The corkscrews have applications beyond that of simply opening bottles, such as untying overly tight or even frozen knots or holding tools. The larger D03 corkscrew is easily able to carry an emergency ferrocerium fire starter rod or a magnetized needle with thread. The Spartan has a removable toothpick, tweezers, and a hole behind the corkscrew for a magnetized pin that can serve as a makeshift compass. The D03 has removable tweezers. The tweezers differ in that the D03 has a tapered tip, perhaps a good compromise for digging out that splinter. The intent of this review is to compare and contrast the Swiza D03. The Spartan or even smaller 84mm cousins, the Tourist or Tinker Small, are reasonable compromises for an easy-to-carry pocket knife. The larger, more robust Alox Pioneer or Electrician have some of the features of the Spartan, but in a stronger package for more demanding work. The Swiza D03 is a robust, yet comfortable working tool benefiting from a locking blade. Victorinox and Swiza offer limited lifetime warranties, As always, the best sack is the one you have with you.